highest in the room.
What's going on, world? I am Chris McPherson, and I'm pleased to be here with you today. You could have been anywhere, and you decided to tune in once again, and I appreciate that. For a moment, I want to talk to you about a concept called Que Sera Sera, which means whatever will be, will be. If any of you know my story, you followed some of these Positive Place messages, you will know that I made a post last year titled Getting Over Being Disappointed. And in that post, I described the situation in which I went to an event. I was the speaker there and we had great time. We changed the room. Everybody felt the atmosphere. And upon waiting to get my video, upon waiting to see the tail of the tape, so to speak, there was nothing that could be produced because the audio visual failed. And in that instance, that was a learning and a growth I had to go through. I had to understand what happened. I had to work to figure out what I could change. And then ultimately I had to let go and go forward. In fact, one of the phrases that's been on my mind recently is the only way out is through. And that in order for us to get what we want, we have to continue through it. Think of it this way. If you're in the forest and you find yourself lost, the only way to get out of the forest is to continue to go through the forest. Now, you may not know which direction you should head, but if you stay in the forest, you die. The only way out is to continue to go in any direction to get what you want. So through this story, I had a battle with some disappointment. And out of that, I continued to go through. But what was unique in this situation is it was not an action that I created after the disappointment. It was actually the action that I had created before. You see, when I was working on the goal of getting that stage, I continued to apply, to introduce myself and ask for me to be selected. And through many rejections, I was able to get one acceptance. And the acceptance that I got, I went and did it, and it didn't turn out to be what I wanted. Well, something interesting happened because after I had done the talk, after I had produced that video, I got a notice that said, hey, you have been selected to do a new talk that is coming later. And this was a talk that I'd applied for during the same time and space that I'd applied for all of them, but just had never heard back. And I finally heard back and they said they wanted to accept me to come in. So the work that I had provided in the initial step had already set me up for the success that was going to come later. I just didn't know it at that time. To fast forward in this story, less than a year later from the time I left that stage, I was on the next stage again at the same platform, and it was better than I could have ever imagined. I had the opportunity to meet great people. I had the opportunity to interact with the session planners. I had the opportunity to interact with those in the audience. But better than that, I achieved a goal that I had set for myself. It was something that I wanted, it was something that I pursued, and it was something that I attained. And truth be told, it was better than my wildest imagination, all because I had set out a goal and I achieved it. And for that, there's no second place, my friends. That's what victory is all about. In less than 6 months of me creating a disappointment video, I'm back to you telling you about a success story. And I didn't do anything different in the process. In fact, I didn't go back and reinvent the wheel. I didn't change anything because the vehicle that I created in the initial step was already in motion and it was going to give me the fruits of my labor over time. All I had to do was believe and trust in the process. So my friends, this message is for whoever is on that journey and it gets tiresome and you've been disappointed and things aren't working out. Continue to go in the steps of the way you want to achieve your goal because that's ultimately what's going to come. You know, if you stop in your journey, you can't go any further. You are stuck. But if you continue to walk, it doesn't even matter in which direction, but just go. Go that way. Go your own way. And ultimately, you will find yourself at the destination of your dreams, your goals, and your lifetime. After all, it's possible.
I fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room.